Hey, didn't see you there. What's up, party people? Welcome back to my channel, INDIpendent. That's me. Hi. I just want to take this opportunity to talk about a few things that interest me, a few little facts, so maybe I can, teach you a little something about getting freaky in places you're probably not supposed to get freaky in. So let's begin. As you may or may not know, I am also a justice and law major, so I really love the law. And I thought, let me combine two things that I really like, sex and the law, and talking about sexual taboos. So let's do it. All right. Whoa, that was very far. So let's talk about number one. Sex in a car. Yeah, I'm sure that you knew that I was going to talk about this one, but though it is not inherently illegal, having sex in a car or getting caught by an officer having sex in a car can lead you to some trouble. By that, I mean there's no way for the cop to not necessarily tell whether or not the sex was elicited in some way or not necessarily consensual. So if it is charged as something as prostitution or whatnot, you can go to jail for a misdemeanor, which is a year or less. Getting my little legal facts on. But yeah. And so if you do get punished for this misdemeanor, it can kind of range from you going to prison, from you getting a minor fine, probation, community service, different things like that. So be careful. Number two. This one is actually very, very, very interesting. Sodomy is actually illegal, but you will never, actually you might guess where. The U.S. Armed Forces. Proud to be American for this. Yeah, totally proud. Anyway, I will explain. Since the U.S. Armed Forces is not necessarily considered a part of normal or regular civilian society, and I'm gonna make a little note now, at least in most parts of normal civilian society, sodomy is legal by two consenting adults. Yeah, so because it's not necessarily considered part of the civilian society, it is considered illegal and unnatural for sodomy between two same-sex adults, which I find to be absolutely ridiculous. One, Beth Hillman even said that the circumstance under which it can be prosecuted is limited. How could you call something like that unnatural? Yes, sex is for procreation as well, but at the same time, we humans are actually one of the only few, or if not the only, mammals on Earth that have sex for pleasure. So why would you try to impede on someone's personal pleasure? I just find that to be so unfair. And of course, with our president nowadays, you can just imagine that this law ain't gonna change anytime soon. Even though there are some politicians and some officials that are trying to put in some clauses into this law to say that they prohibit unnaturally forced sodomy, but it's okay to engage in that sexual act with two consenting adults. But honestly, if you don't get caught, you don't get caught. So, moving on. Number three, you may not really think that this is a law, but adultery. And I'm sure that this one comes from the olden days, the olden times of when things were not better, and there was racism and sexism and all the isms. Anyway, so in New York City, boy, you feel me? How the hell is adultery illegal? This is crazy, but you would never believe, but it's true, y'all. It's true. It is illegal in New York to have sex with someone else's partner, wife, husband, whatever. And in Michigan, you can actually get up to 5 years in prison if convicted under certain circumstances of having sex with and or seducing someone else's wife. There are a lot of people that are about to get in trouble here. Moving on, number 4. This one I found to be very funny. In Texas, good old Texas, it is actually illegal to have sex toys in your possession. And honestly, you'll never guess the number. They're saying that if you have 6 or more dildos
really, nigga,
in your possession, that is a crime, and you can get some type of punishment for said crime. I don't necessarily know anyone personally that has that many dildos, but I do not dispute the fact that I'm sure someone does. And I'm sorry, Mary, but if you live in Texas, you might want to hide that 6th dildo. Now, number 5, oral sex is actually illegal in Virginia. Oral sex is illegal because it's considered forbidden, and unnatural, and a crime against nature. Moving on, emergency sex. Now I'm gonna get into this. It is illegal for a woman to have sexual intercourse in an ambulance van. Why this is a law, honestly, I don't know. You know, I don't know. But who knows? Maybe there was some adventurous woman that wanted to engage in a sexual activity with her partner inside of an ambulance van for some reason, or maybe an employee, who knows. And they felt so compelled to make this a law. So whenever you break a leg, or you know, you get into a little accident and you see a very attractive person in that van, hold your horses, sweetheart. Hold them horses, but because you're gonna get in trouble with the law. So, my last and final one is sex in the city. And I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with this. Sex in public places, everyone. Sex in parks, sex in playgrounds, sex in fields, sports fields, anything. You name it. If it's a public area and you are caught having sexual intercourse in it, you can get pun intended. For instance, it is an illegal misdemeanor, which means less than a year, or a year, or 2 years. If you get caught, it is also considered indecent exposure as well. If you're caught, because of
course, if you are having sexual intercourse, there are going to be some parts of the body that are going to be
exposed, unless you have sex in another way that I don't necessarily know about. I can think of some ways, actually. Anyway, yeah, and so the only thing about this law, even though a large amount of states do agree with it, the word public is kind of disputable, and it kind of determines which state you're a part of or not. What am I chatting about? Anyway, so guys, this concludes 7 sex acts that can get you arrested. Hopefully, this gets me into law school. Yeah. If not, then, you know, life. I would love for you to hit me up in the comments, tell me what you think about it, what you didn't like about it, if I got something wrong, because look, I am not Atlas. I don't know everything. I just look it up. But yes, like this video, subscribe to this video, share this video. You play this video over and over again if you must. Pause it, screenshot it, do what you must. I really just hope that you learned at least one thing from what I taught you today. And if you learned something that you didn't know, why don't you just let me know in the comments below? That rhymed. Oh, stop. Well, I hope you liked it, and see you next time on the flip side. And don't forget to be independently you. Well, thank you so much to everyone that listened. I really enjoyed making this video, and let me know if I should make more of them. Love ya. Bye.